How is everybody doing today? Today's video is going to be more news on Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, specifically whether or not GT characters or any GT content will be included in the game. I'm not going to worry about talking about the possibility of DLC because at the moment, personally, I think that notion is very much worthless considering DLC content has been alluded to on the previous Dragon Ball games, but none has come out. So, anyway, GT characters in Battle of Z, short answer from what I've read and seen so far is no. There's an interview that I watched that will be in the description of this video if you want to check it out, considering the amount of people that want GT characters is so small community-wise, and Namco Bandai sort of alluding to the fact that they do listen to the community. That being said, GT characters probably won't make an appearance in this game due to the lack of numbers behind wanting GT. So they're pretty much going by majority rules, and they want to do what the masses want, not necessarily just want the lesser amount of people want. So me being a person who actually liked GT and actually wants to see at least some form of multiple characters from GT in the roster for the next game, it doesn't necessarily make me not want to buy the game anymore, because I'm still pretty interested in what else they're going to do with it. But if GT isn't included and some of the characters, and the characters aren't in there, then I probably hope to want to see that they do add like an extensive amount of the characters that appeared throughout Z, and even the movie characters that appeared sort of within the Dragon Ball Z, what do you call it? The Dragon Ball Z lore, I suppose, just from like Dragon Ball Z to the end of Dragon Ball Z and all the movies in between. If they're not adding GT characters, I just hope that they include movie characters and an extensive sort of list of characters that appeared throughout Z. Now, I don't know if anyone even cares that GT isn't going to be in the game, because I know, considering that the people that don't like GT at all could care less if GT was in the game. But I have to be honest and say it's having a differentiation on characters and transformations in the game surely makes the game 100% better, and sort of maybe increases its longevity a little bit, just with the whole more characters. You can, let's say there's a whole list of characters from GT, and then there's like 15 from Z. There's not going to be much to do unless you incorporate some of those GT characters to make your fighting more interesting, more dynamic. Now, as it being a multiplayer, cooperative, 8-player battle royale thing, you'd want to assume that they would include an extensive character roster. So, with GT not being in the game, we can only assume that, well, suspectedly not being in the game, we can only assume that they have an relatively extensive character roster to add to this game. But, as I said, this is just purely speculation so far, but I think it looks pretty solid that GT might not make an appearance in the hard copy of this game, and maybe in even any DLC that they might release in the future. Anyway, what are your guys' opinions on not having GT in the game at all? Do you care? Did you enjoy GT? Did you want to see GT characters in this game? If GT isn't in the game, do you hope that they sort of make the character roster a little more extensive so that it's a little more interesting to play? And by extensive, I mean probably a little bit bigger than Raging Blast 2. Raging Blast 2 did have a pretty decent character roster, but for the possibly last Dragon Ball Z game on the current consoles, maybe they'll release them on the PS4 and PS3 and vice versa with the Xbox as well. But for the possible last game on this console, do you hope that they extend the character roster just a teeny little bit? Leave your comments below, and I will try and keep you up to date with any more information that comes out on Battle of Z. Until my next upload, have a fantastic day.